Guys, welcome back to another episode of Corvettes 918. I want to thank you for hitting that play button. If you're brand new to the channel, my name is Chuck, and if you like Corvettes and you like cars in general, this is definitely going to be a channel that you'll want to subscribe to. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, the little bell button next to it. That way you know each and every time I'm putting out a video. Now, guys, what are we doing today? Well, guys, I'm pretty excited about today. As you guys saw in the thumbnail, we've got a drill. And we're about to put 12 holes in the Black Mamba. Yes, we are.
What the hell did you just say?
To put 12 holes in the Black Mamba.
I've got a box that came in this week. I'm excited about showing you guys the install. And it is from our friends at ACS Composite. Many of you guys know these guys, you know their brands. Some of you guys, they're real big into aero packages and just all kinds of stuff. But this modification is something I've been wanting to do to the car. And so we'll get into it in just a second. Guys, before we get into installing this, which I stuffed about, I'm gonna be using this. What? About you guys, have you ever been scared when someone is near your beautiful Corvette and they got a drill? Yes. Hard to believe I'm gonna drill into the Black Mamba. Well, guys, before I get into the modification, I do wanna take a moment and talk a little bit about Corvette. You know, a lot of news has come out this week, and I'm sure many of you guys, if you're a Corvette guy, you've already seen all of this. I'm not gonna break it all down for you, but I am gonna give my opinion on a few things. If you wanna see a full breakdown of times and dates and all these types of things, go check out my guy over at Cars, Cost, and Technologies. He is a fellow vet owner, and I will leave his channel, or I'll leave that video where he goes over it linked below. It's not a very long video, but he kind of goes over, 2018, 2019. He's got dates and different things in there. I want to give my thoughts on the whole C8 thing. I mean, I know the reason why they changed the dates. They've gotten rid of the 18s. Now we're going into 19 because we all know the ZR1 is coming. And one thing we do know is there's going to be a ZR1 in this garage. I'm hoping by next spring. But all these shots and spy shots and everything else, of the whole C8 and the whole mid-engine car. And I'm going to call it a car because to me, I'm not going to call that mid-engine car a Corvette. But guys, to me, this is a Corvette right here. A Corvette is a front-engine V8, naturally aspirated, fuel injected, in this case, supercharged. This is a Corvette. Something with a mid-engine is not a Corvette to me. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not excited about GM producing something like a, mid-engine car, but I'm not excited that they may call it a Corvette, because to me, guys, it's not a Corvette. You have to stop and think about it like this. As someone who owns a Corvette and is younger, when I say younger, I'm 41 years old. That's young when it comes to owning a Corvette. Most guys who own a Corvette, most of these guys are in their late 50s, they're in their 60s, some of them are in their 70s and beyond. And I get so many emails from younger guys saying, I love the new C7 Corvette. I can't afford one. Well, most of them you could afford one, from the standpoint of, yeah, you may not be able to afford a Z06, but you can get a Stingray and a 1LT for $50,000 for some places. I mean, you can get in. I mean, Cars, Cost, and Technology. He's a younger guy. He's in his mid-20s, and he has one. So you can get into Corvette. You just may not be able to get into the big dogs of Corvette, the ZR1, the Z06s, but you can get into it. Now, if you have this mid-engine car, and let's say they want to call it a Corvette, that car is going to be $80,000 to $100,000, if not more. And so that's going to price out all these young guys. So even in these younger guys that go, wow, I want to get a mid-engine car, because I think that's what the people that are excited about mid-engine, some type of mid-engine car from GM, that's the younger people. They're people that are my age and younger. I think most of your guys that are in their 50s and 60s and they've known Corvette their whole life as a front-engine car, I don't know how excited these guys are about a mid-engine car, about rushing down and buying one. Are there going to be some? Yes, but not the majority. So I think GM has to do this just right. because they don't want to make their, their base mad. They don't want to scare off a bunch of customers and change from a C7 right into some type of C8 mid-engine car and just lose their butt on sales. So that's why I think the C7 is going to continue on. I see it being made for at least 10 years, 2014 to 2024. People can get into these. Maybe the cost comes down a little bit to get more people into it. And then you have some type of mid-engine Zora, some type of mid-engine car that's out there for these guys that, have the money to blow $200,000 on some Porsche 911 or, Huracan or, whatever's out there supercar-wise, the McLarens, things like that. They can buy one of these type of cars if they're just a mid-engine type guy. But for guys like me and the vast majority of you guys who own Corvettes or maybe thinking about buying a Corvette, I think most of you guys are probably excited about buying a C7. You're still excited about it. So guys, that's my 2 cents. Okay guys, this is the ACS diffuser kit. And I've actually already have one of these over here, but you're gonna get 4 of these. And they come perfectly wrapped. You don't have to worry about any scratches. I checked each one of them. Outside of me just handle them now, the only thing on is my fingerprints, but we'll wash these off later. But you're gonna get 4 of these. On the inside, they are labeled which ones they are. So I'm gonna go over here and see, this is a driver, passenger. So if you'll notice, these are both passenger. It says passenger right here. But if you'll notice, this one has one little hole that's drilled here. This one underneath it has 2 holes. So they actually give you the indicator which one is the outside diffuser and which one is the inside diffuser. And all that again is in there direct. Get these, wanted to show you there's a difference here. You're gonna have to install these little, I didn't even see what they were called, but basically they're just going to slide on here, and that's what your screw is actually going to go into or bite into. But they come with these not on there. And what you're going to do is you're going to take, there's a side that kind of looks like this. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but it's got a little notch right here. That's going to be the side that's going to be inside of this cavity here, and the smooth side is going to be on the mounting side. Take out these 2, but I'm going to take out these 3 over here just because it allows you to kind of pull this out a little bit more. It makes it a little easier. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this template, and again, you want to make sure, again, you're dealing with the passenger side here. It's labeled passenger side, and then you have your 2 where your bottom screws are going to go in. So what you want to do is take this and just poke a little hole right there in that paper, and then take this and screw it back into where those screws where we just took them out. Do is take some type of, I'm going to use some painter's tape here, some 3M tape, just because it comes away easy. But you have these 3 pilot holes here. They're marked on the template. Here, here, and here. And all you're going to do is drill a pilot hole with a 1/8 drill bit. So everywhere those are, you're going to drill a little pilot hole right in the middle. It's created, it's slotted. So even if one of these aren't perfectly perfect, you can move that little bit inside of there to where it needs to be. So don't panic that you're going to miss something or you're going to drill a hole in wrong or something like that. As long as you got the template here and you drilled, where the templates are, you're going to be fine. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the template off. Pilot's drilled with the 1/8 inch drill bit. So we're going to take that out and we're going to put it a 1/4 inch drill bit. And then basically we're going to go back and we're just going to make these holes a little bit bigger. So you're just going to go where all the pilots are and then just drill through until it comes through. Take your towel and then just slowly go over that area right there. It's automatically going to pull all those shavings off, as you can see. without doing any kind of scratching or anything like that. There we go. Got all of our holes drilled. That's now that we've got all the holes drilled. The one, I always start with the one that's the inner. It's a little easier once you get back working your way this way. Plus this one is the most difficult. Doing this top one right here is definitely the most difficult. So what you want to do is you want to thread that one first. So again, we're working on the inside, and then we have considered the outside. The inside will say passenger side with one drill hole in it. Then that means that that's your inner piece here. So side isn't going to be near as hard, I can already tell, because the driver's side you've got so much. There seems to be more of an issue over on that one because of the way everything's set up underneath the car. There's just a lot more electronics and so forth over there. So I can already tell right now this is going to be a whole lot easier to install. And all you're doing is just getting it tight, kind of pressing in on it, and just tighten it by hand. The next one that you want to do is the bottom one. And then you're going to do the middle one. Once you've got them hand tight, you're going to want a 7mm little wrench that is adjustable. It's going to make this thing a whole lot easier. If this is a fixed end and it doesn't have a ratchet on it, it's going to take forever to put these down, especially again on the driver's side. Everything is so much tighter over there. So just make sure you've got it set here for tightening, and then I just start with the bottom one here. And you're going to know that it's the outer because it says right here passenger side, and there's two little bitty pre-drilled holes. That means it's your outer one.
Well, guys, I accidentally hit the mic and turned it off somehow. But really what I was doing here is just finish up tightening everything down, putting in the original screws that I took out, and pretty much this modification takes about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes to do with a little bit of patience.
Well, guys, we got the diffusers on, and let's just take a look. You guys let me know what you guys think. Do they look good, but they do serve a huge purpose when it comes to aerodynamics. You know, diffusers, basically you get a lot of air that comes up underneath these cars, and when it comes to the back and it just kind of shoots up, there's, you know, nothing channeling it there, and it just creates a lot of disturbance there on the back of the car. Those diffusers kind of take that air and channel it vertically up out of there, so that it kind of eliminates that turbulence. I do want to say that Jonathan and the guys over at ACS Composite did send me these, and they originally, contacted me a couple of weeks ago and said, hey Chuck, we want to send you the brake scoops. And I said, guys, I've already bought them and put them on. And they said, well, I guess I didn't catch that video. I said, well, it just released, so you probably hadn't even had a chance to see it yet. But they sent me these diffusers. Again, just my review of them, installing it. I think for what they are, I think the install is relatively simple. I would recommend, you guys did see me with a jack. I do recommend jacking the car up, or putting it up on a lift if you have a lift, just to give yourself a little bit more of an angle to get yourself up into there. And of course, these things will be linked below, as well as Cars, Cost, and Technology. His link down there, talking about the C8 and everything, just as a reminder. But guys, continue to keep sending in your videos of your cars, your pictures of your cars. But make sure that when you send them in, that you put in the description what kind of car you have. What year it is it, Stingray, Grand Sport, whatever. If it's, a color, a specific color, put it in there. Because I get guys that send me pictures of their cars person is just, hey, here's a picture of my car, and I don't even know who it came from. Just continue sending those in. If you have an Instagram account, let me know in the email, and I will give you a shout out on Instagram and follow you as well. But guys, until I see you at the next video, I hope each and every one of you have a blessed week. Now, let's check out some of your beautiful rides.
I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were the one, and I can't wait to see you hindsight is fleeting when your heart's bleeding and all you can see is red, till you discover it is within each other.